Alright, 4-1, graphing quadratic equations. This is Algebra 1, but it's been a while, you maybe forgot it. I totally get that. It can be a little tricky, but you just follow the same thing every time. So if you get stuck, you just come back to your notes, okay? A quadratic function in standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. That's in descending order, okay? To graph a parabola, this is the axis of symmetry, or the AOS. The formula to find it is x equals negative b over 2a. For the vertex, that answer is the x value. You plug it back into the original equation and you find the y value. That's what that says, okay? If a is positive, then the graph opens up, which means this is a min. If a is negative, the graph opens down, which means this is a max. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. And then the min or the max is the y-coordinate of the vertex. So like if this was, I don't know, negative 1 comma 4, my min would be 4, right? Because that's how high or how low it goes. So in order to do these, you can find your y-intercept, right? To find y, you set x equal to 0, okay? And then you find your AOS, that's that x equals negative b over 2a formula. That is your x-coordinate of the vertex. You plug it back in to find the y of your vertex. And then we do a t-table and we graph it, okay? Before I even graph this thing, is it in descending order? Yes. Is it going to open up or down? This is a positive 1, so it's going to open up. So that means I'm going to get a min. I like to kind of do all that now before I get too involved in the problem and make sure I do it right, okay? So, let's go ahead and find our y-intercept. To find y, you set x equal to 0. So if I plug 0, 0, I get 8. Does everybody get that? Whenever we're graphing something, the more ordered pairs we have, the more accurate our graph is, okay? Step 2 is where I'm going to find my AOS. It's going to be x equals negative b over 2a. What's a here? 1. What's b? Negative 6. What's c? 8. Yeah. So negative b is going to be positive 6 over 2a is just 2. So 6 over 2 is 3. So I literally just got x is 3. That says x equals 3. To find my vertex, I know the 3 because my vertex is on the axis of symmetry somewhere, okay? So if I plug 3 back into this original equation, all right, I'm going to get 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 8, like that. Do you guys get that? You could obviously use a calculator, but that's going to be 9 minus 18 plus 8. What is 9 minus 18? Negative 9 plus 8? Negative 1. So my vertex is at 3, negative 1. Are you guys following me? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my AOS. Even though that's not part of the graph, I'm going to go ahead and just see where it is. It's at x equals 3. That's a dotted line because it's not really there. Okay. And then 3, negative 1 is my vertex. I know this graph opens up, but I don't know like how fat or skinny it's going to be. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my y-intercept of 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a couple choices to finish this. I'm going to go ahead and put my vertex in the middle and my 0, 8 here. You guys get this is symmetric, right? So if I am 3 away from the middle, if I go 3 the other way, if I do 6 on the other side, right? These better match or it's not symmetric. Do you guys get that? So if 0 is up 8, then 6 had better also be up 8. Okay? 4, 5, 6, 8. And you always connect it with a nice smooth curve. Oops. And that would be a min. Did that open up like I said it was supposed to? Yep. So we're good. I know that was kind of fast, but do you guys at least follow what I did, right? You find your AOS, follow the formula, plug it back in, get your vertex, do a couple other ordered pairs. Let's pretend you don't really get the whole symmetric thing. Couldn't you just pick anything on the left and anything on the right? That'd be fine, but you have to have your vertex in there. Okay? Determine whether the function has a max or min and find it. State the domain and range. So this is in descending order. Is it going to open up or down? Down, because that's a negative in front of the square, right? If it opens down, it looks like this. Is that a max or a min? It's a max, right? To find it, I have to find the y of the vertex. I have to do the negative b over 2a and plug it back in, all right? So what's a here? Negative 1, what's b? Negative 7, what's c? 1. So my AOS is x equals negative b, so 7, over 2a. So I've got 7 over negative 2. If I were graphing that, that wouldn't be super fun, but I'm not, so it's fine, right? If you guys want to call that negative 3.5, that's fine. But I have to plug it back in, right? So for my vertex, I know it's negative 3.5, comma, I don't know. I'm looking for the y, okay? So I'm going to say my original is negative x squared minus 7x plus 1. You guys see how I just wrote down the original again? So I'm going to put in my x everywhere. Is that okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and just plug that into our calculator. If you plug in exactly what you see, you're going to get it right. So be really careful with those parentheses, all right? What'd you get? Anybody? Say it again. No. That's like a 3.5, maybe. Try it again. You guys should get 13.25. If you don't, try it again. Let me know. Okay? Is that okay now? Okay. So the question said max or min did it. Find it. Okay, it's 13.25. It's the y value of the vertex. And then state the domain and range. Well, I'm not going to really graph the thing. I'm just going to kind of sketch it. Negative 3.5, comma 13.5 is like here-ish. And we said open down, right? What's my domain? We've done this before. All real, right? All the x's are fine. My range, what y starts my graph? What y is this? The 13.25. And it's below. So that's how we would write it, right? Or negative infinity, comma, 13.25 bracket. Are you guys kind of okay? It's algebra 1, but it's a lot. Even in algebra 1, it was a lot, okay? We have one more. It's the exact same thing. Is this going to open up or down? It's a positive 1, so up. So is that a max or a min? A min, right? I'm going to do everything I did before. What's A? 1. What's B? 12. What's C? 27. So x equals negative b over 2a. Do you guys get that I got negative 6? Okay. I got to plug that back in to find the y of the vertex. That's the point of this question. So if I plug it back in, it says y equals x squared plus 12x plus 27. Is that okay? I'm going to put negative 6's in for all those parentheses. Use a calculator for sure. Oops. What do we get for y here? Shout out what you got. Take your time, get -9, right? So my vertex is -6, -9. They did not ask me to graph it. They asked me to find max or min. So it's going to be the -9, because max or min is how high or low we go, right? So it's the y value. And then the domain and range. The domain of a parabola is always all real, right? The range, I like to kind of sketch a graph. We said -6, -9-ish, and we said open up, right? So if this is at -6, -9, my graph starts at -9, and is it above or below the graph? It's going to be above, right? So if I write that the way we write it now, greater than or equal to -9 would be -9, comma, infinity, like that. I know that was kind of fast, but did you at least follow what I did? Let's do one more on the back, just a graphing one. I want to really make sure you guys get it. The back side's blank, okay? Let's just add this one more question. I want to throw a negative in there. Let's do g of x equals -2x squared plus 8x minus 3. We're going to graph this. So when we graph it, we have to find the vertex, and we have to find at least two other ordered pairs, something on the left and something on the right. Okay? First, is this going to open up or down? Down. So it's going to look like this, so it's going to be a max. You don't have to do this. I just like to do it to check myself. You know what I mean? Okay? According to our instructions, we find the y-intercept first. That's a really easy one to find. So my y-intercept is when I set x to 0, right? 0, 0, -3. So that means I'm going to have something at 0, -3. Is that okay? Not new, right? Now I have to find my AOS. That's x equals -b over 2a. You're going to want to know that, okay? What is A? -2. What's B? 8. And what's C? -3. You guys good with that? Okay. So negative b is giving -8 over 2a is -2. I'm just plugging and chugging. If I'm losing you guys, say something, okay? Okay. So -8 over -4 is really 2. So don't draw this. I'm going to, but you don't, okay? I know that my axis of symmetry is right here at x equals 2. That's not part of the graph, but it's my axis of symmetry. So if that's my axis of symmetry, my vertex is on here somewhere. It's 2 something, right? So my vertex is 2, I don't know. Is that okay? So to find the y, I'm going to go back up to my original equation, -2 something squared plus 8 something minus 3. What did we just say all those x's are? We literally said x equals 2. So I'm going to put 2's in, okay? I am going to wait for you this time. I really want to make sure you can plug this in correctly. Be very careful how you plug this in, and go ahead and shout out what you get for the y. No. Try it again. Be really careful with all those parentheses. No. What'd you say? No. Yeah? Let's try it again. Let's get 5. We can obviously do it by hand and get it right, but I want to make sure you guys can get it right in your calculator. We got to do that eventually, right? Especially when we get decimals and stuff, you'll want to be able to do this. Everybody get 5 this time. Okay, so it's 2, 5, okay? So when we graph a parabola, you don't have to have this here, right? You don't have to have the axis of symmetry, but I do. I'm going to go ahead and graph the vertex first, because that's the most important piece. I have to have that. It's not like a line where you could just have 2 random points wherever on the line. You have to have the vertex. It's the most important piece. So 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. I know it's going to open down. I know my y-intercept is -3, so I'm going to go ahead and graph the -3, right? When you do your t-table, I always put the vertex in the middle, 2, 5, and 0, -3, like that. I don't want to do any extra math. I can pick any ordered pair I want and plug it in again like I did with the vertex, but if I don't have to do more math, like, let's not do that, right? So if this is 2 away on the left side, what would my symmetric piece be? 2 away on the right side, which would be 4. Do you guys get that? And these better match, or I messed up anyway. So it's going to be where? -3. So at 4, -3, that's my other ordered pair that can help me make my nice smooth U. That opened down, oops, so it's a max. Do you guys get that? Graphically, do you get that if I'm down 3 and I'm 2 to the left, then if I'm down 3, I'll just go 2 to the right, which was 4. Do you guys understand that? If you don't understand that, it's fine. You can pick anything to the left and to the right of the vertex and just plug it in again. But like, why would we do all that extra math? That's why we do the y-intercept, because 0 is so quick and so easy that we could just plug it in like 2 seconds, and then we could get the other balanced one on the other side. Did that make sense? Okay. Let me end the video, and then if you guys have any questions, you could just ask.